Church and community cookbooks are one of the most underrated forms of art that there is, at least in my humble opinion. In fact, you can trace the history of a country all the way through its food. Through food and cookbooks and recipes, you can trace the path of immigrants as they came to the United States or left. You can trace the Great Depression, World War I, World War II, poverty. Basically, every aspect of human life shows up in the recipes and the cookbooks that we leave behind. Take this recipe for zucchini bread. Now, the oldest zucchini bread recipe is about 100 years old. The original recipe was probably based on carrot puddings from England. Although the recipe is about a century old, the recipe itself didn't become popular until the Victory Gardens from World War II. It wasn't until the 1960s and the rise of the so-called hippie movement that you see the absolute explosion in popularity of zucchini bread recipes. More local note, let me tell you how I got a hold of the recipe. You see, it was printed by my mom's best friend in our church cookbook from the early 90s. And I've been making it ever since. Someday I'll pass it to my kids, and maybe in another century, people will trace this recipe all the way through a little tiny church from a little tiny town. That's how we're all intertwined through recipes. This lady used to be my Sunday school teacher when I was a little girl, and just last week she asked me for one of my recipes. Next time you eat something that you really like, go ahead and ask the cook. They'll be happy to write their recipe down. As for this recipe, it's easy and simple. Throw them chocolate chips in if you like. I don't like it that way, but you might. Definitely bring this recipe past to present.